Shalom Aleichem, Shavua Tov. I hope you had a beautiful Shabbat. The intention that I'd like to share for this week is a bit of a controversial one. I'd like to share an intention of war, of fighting, which is extremely difficult, and in these times, fighting is the last thing that we want to hear about, the last thing we want to do, and that which we want to end as soon as possible. But we find ourselves in the midst of fighting in our lives, fighting in the land of Israel, fighting for our identities. And within our parshiot, also within the weekly Torah portions, we're also finding ourselves in the midst of fighting. We heard many laws of war during this past week's parasha, during our Torah reading today. And we're going to hear more about it in this coming week. Ki tetzei le'milchama, when you go out to war, we hear details of the laws of war and our return from it. War is not something that we sign up for. You know, just a few days ago, yesterday, was the Yahrzeit of Rav Kook, the year of the date of the passing of Rav Yitzhak Cohen Kook, one of the greatest and most original thinkers of the past century, an extremely unique contribution to our people, to the philosophy and the Torah of our people. He was the first Chief Rabbi of Israel, even though he was prior to the founding of the state. And Rav Kook shares in Orot Israel that the essential nature of our people is that we just want chesed. If we had our ideal, we would just be giving, just be doing good, kindness all the time. That's our nature. That's what we want to do. We just want to give. We just want to care for. It's the nature of who we are. Ideally, that would be the way in which we could walk around this world. But unfortunately, we find ourselves in the midst of war that none of us are wanting, none of us are signing up for. And we wonder what to do with ourselves. How do we deal with the war that we face when our nature is the desire to just do good and to just have love and peace and care for our neighbors and to live in brotherhood and to find a way to make this work and to talk it out and to make agreements and to envision a future that is one of peace and love? What do we do? What do we do? That's our nature, and we meet a reality that's otherwise. I don't have the answer, but my intention for this week is that just like on a trek, let's say we find ourselves in the midst of a hike and we're ascending the mountain and we wonder how we got here. Did I sign up for this? What am I doing taking this next step? Yet there's nowhere to go back. I'm now in the midst of this hike, in the middle of the mountain, and there's no slide down, there's no helicopter coming to get me, and I've got to make it to the top. And it's a fight. It's a fight with a part of ourselves that just wants to sit down, be comfortable, and let it go. And the other part says, I'm here, and I'm going to get to the top. I'm going to make it happen, and I'm going to reach that peak. I don't know why we're in this situation. None of us do. We find ourselves in this reality, and for some reason, we're meant, I believe, to learn how to fight. How to say, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. Ideally, I would not fight ever in my life. But when push comes to shove, I need to know what I'm willing to fight for and how to fight. We fight for the people we love. We fight for ourselves at times. And that ability to fight for ourselves and say, I'd rather not fight for myself. I'd rather not have anybody fighting against me and not need to fight for myself. But in that situation, I do need to know how to fight for myself. In that situation, I do need to know how to fight for my family. I do need to know how to fight for my people. It's a hard lesson. It's a hard intention for the week. But I think it's something that we have to think about. Sending you blessings, sending you love, sending you with a blessing to know how to fight, when to fight, and with a blessing that hopefully one day we will need to fight no more. Have a great week.